Hey there, everybody, and welcome back for more. Boy, I was worried I wasn't going to have a video today, so I woke up this morning and noticed that my OBS would not allow me to get in. And I was wondering for a little while what was going on. In fact, I had a hard time loading up anything that would use any sort of audio at all on my computer. It turns out that it was the version of Pipewire that had just been installed that was bad. 0.3.69 was bad. I had to force into 0.3.70, which I think is still in beta. But it works now. As you can see, OBS for me earlier this morning just simply wasn't loading at all. It was hanging, and I was worried that I was going to have to completely reinstall my operating system until, fortunately, I took a look and figured out what was going on. So if you're using Linux and you're wondering why your computer audio stopped working, you might want to look into the Pipewire and the latest version that you're using. That's probably what killed it. In my case, I couldn't load up any browser or anything because Firefox was trying to check for that audio setting and couldn't find anything at all. I mean, there was no audio at all on the computer, which was interesting. Anyway, we'll get on to the match. Here's Lavia knocking this one forward over deployment, and that's going to end that highlight. I think I have my OBS settings back to where they're supposed to be, but we'll take a look at it and keep an eye on it just to make sure that things don't go a little bit haywire, which they very well might. That is always a possibility, and we're not playing very well here in the early going. Lavia there with a very dangerous tackle, gets the ball back, pushes it forward over for Jong Sanbing, who scores. And I mean, that was always going to happen. As soon as I say we're not playing very well, then we score a wonder goal like that. I don't know if it was necessarily a wonder goal, but that was very well done. Lavia, though, probably was lucky to not come away with at least a foul on that, if not a card. Jong Sanbing from that angle is always going to score. 1-0 Yanbian FC, and we're feeling a little bit better just like that. So you never know. I mean, every problem that you come up against will have some sort of possible solution, and the key is always to look out for that solution and try to find it as quickly as you can, and then move on in life. Chen Jun knocks this one forward. We have a rotated side out there today for the most part. Gustafsson, though, gets this over to Dick Oeng. How does Jakob Dick Oeng not score? How does he not put that one in? That was a little bit ridiculous. This is a great job by us to get back onto this. Gustafsson loses out on it, runs over, intercepts the pass, and then has this great pass to Dick Oeng, who has to score. You think it would be easier to score than to miss. And he ends up forcing a good save by the goalkeeper, but it was a really poor shot. Paulson with the header, and that one goes over the top of the bar, hitting the bar, and then going out of play. Another one off the woodwork, and we know how Football Manager loves that. Zhong Sanbing now knocks it all the way back to Liu Xiaoziyang, over to Chen Jun. Chen Jun to Paulson. Paulson over to Shui Xiaopeng. Paulson back to Shui Xiaopeng, over to Jakob Dick Oeng. He finds, was looking for Mwanta, found Jong Sanbing instead, and that's going to be the second goal of his match, and that's pretty clearly onside, and we're going to roll here again in this one. I mean, Heilongjiang Ice City came into this in 5th position, and we were running a rotated side, and I thought for a second, I don't know if this is going to work out well or not. Mwanta is upset with me because he wants to start every match, so that's the reason why he's out there, though he's not playing well. He's tired. And I'm sure he's going to be upset with me because he's tired. Lavia now knocks this one forward, looking for Paulson again, and Paulson can't get that header to go down just right. 2-0 Yanbian FC. We have a little bit over 5,000 people here in Heilongjiang at this huge stadium. Zhong Sanbing with the header, and it goes back to Jakob Dick Oeng, who has another blast of a shot that goes nowhere. And Dick Oeng has recently received a new contract, so he's going to be around here for a while. But we need to get him really trained up because he's not shooting the way that he really should be. Yan Dawei goes back and grabs that over to Lavia. Back to Yan Dawei. Yan Dawei knocks this one forward, and he finds Gustafsson, who should pass instead of shoot. I mean, he had two men wide open. It's all right. Yendawei with the throw over to Ployman now. Ployman back to Yendawei, and he knocks that forward looking for Dick Oeng, and that hits off the defender back to Zhong Sanbing. Zhong Sanbing takes this one up himself and really should have done better than that. If he had taken one or two steps further inside, he would have had a better shot from a better angle. So as you can see here, even when we're playing well, there's quite a bit to worry about and quite a bit to criticize. The tired players seem to be holding up well, which is good. Yan Dawei gets it from Chen Jun over to Lavia, back to Yan Dawei to Chen Jun again, over to Paulson. Paulson with it now, and he finds Shui Xiaopeng. Shui Xiaopeng over to Mwanta, who's wide open and scores. And, I mean, that was like in slow motion. I'm looking back over here at OBS just to make sure that we don't have any, encoding errors or overload or something like that that's preventing this from working right. And no, I mean, Mwanta just has a little jog at that, and for some reason, all of the defenders have no idea what's going on. You couldn't have telegraphed that any more than they did. But apparently nobody could figure out what we were doing, and so we score another goal. 3-0 Yanbian FC here in the early going, and everybody's playing well. Everybody will be happy, and that should do well for our cohesion as a squad. Tellez now with this corner, which is a header that ends up going back into the corner. They end up with a shot from way out there, far range shot, and it goes into nothing, and their XG is only 0.05. Chen Wei, their goaltender, knocks this forward, finds Chen Jun over to Zhong Sanbing to Gustafsson now. Gustafsson moves forward with it, over looking for Dick Oing, and it ends up knocking off of their defender. We fouled Thiago Costa, but apparently it wasn't enough of a foul for the referee to pay any attention to it. And Yago there for Heilongjiang Ice City has a goal back, and I think he's onside, guys. I don't think that we should be looking at the ref. I think we should be looking at ourselves and asking us, how it is that they were able to get a goal like that in. They have disallowed it, and I'm not so sure that I agree with that. I mean, let's take a look here at the replay. I mean, come on. When you look at the lines, he's onside. He's not offside. He's clearly onside. That was a bad call. I mean, I'm not going to complain, but that was a bad call, and that was a bad job by our defense. Shui Xiaopeng now with the corner. Looks for Paulson. Can't quite find him. It goes back to Zhong Sanbing over to Wanta. Wanta takes it up and forward. Over to Shui Xiaopeng. Shui Xiaopeng with a shot from range, and that goes nowhere. We do want these defensive midfielders to shoot from range. They're not doing the wrong thing. They just need to learn how to shoot. Gustafsson tries to win the header. Can't quite, but Jakob Dick Oing is able to get in front of it, intercepts the pass, knocks the deployment over to Gustafsson. And Gustafsson wisely takes that down instead of passing it forward because our guy was offside, knocks it backwards to Yendawei over to Shui Xiaopeng. That's knocked up. Zhong Sanbing just doesn't have the heading ability to get onto that, and it's with Chen Wei, the goaltender, for another goal kick. And we have a 3-0 lead in this one, and I'm not sure how deserved that is. I just want to take a quick look here and see. So the defense is not playing very well at all. Yeah, Lavia is really, really tired, so we're going to put Shu on. We'll have an all-Chinese central defense there in the back, and we'll keep Wanta on and see if we can get a goal or two from him here in the second half. And let's see what we can do. Li Shuai now for Heilongjiang knocks that back, and it doesn't really matter because Paulson's there to win everything in the air, and we have control of it once again. And as you can see, we are dominating possession this match. We're dominating XG. We're dominating just about every statistic that you can possibly keep. We also only have 3 fouls committed to their 9. Paulson now with it over to Shui Xiaopeng. Shui Xiaopeng knocks this forward for Dick Oing. Dick Oing. Still Dick Oing, and he's just beaten and looks kind of bad at it, but we're able to win it back. Shu now looking for Wanta, who's really moving slowly. Dick Oing now, and he has a shot from a pretty poor angle that was a little bit ill-advised. And Wanta is not showing as that tired. He just needs to get a little bit more speed, I think. Ployment over back to Yendawei. And unfortunately, they have it here for a counter-attack, and we've got to get back and play your man. Don't play the ball. And they regained possession because they were smart, unlike most teams, and didn't just lump the ball forward. Well, they've lumped it forward now, and that's a poor play, and that's an easy goal by Mario Sergio. And, yeah, we've got some problems here on defense. And I'm not sure who gets the blame here. The game sometimes will not show you. It looks like it's Paulson, and it is Paulson. I don't know what he's doing here, trying to win that header, and he's just in the wrong position. And, I mean, Christopher Paulson is still young. I don't think he's even 20 years old yet. But he has me wondering about his future at the club with games like that. I mean, he's had a number of times in which he's played poorly and has made major mistakes. That's why we keep putting guys like Yanquin on, because they actually know how to play defense. And all right, let's see what we can do. So 3-1 Yanbian FC now, and we're hoping that this doesn't become more of a match. We want to make sure that we maintain our dominance and just see this one out. Shu here with the free kick, knocks off the wall, and Gustafsson is in the way, and he ends up being called for a foul, not given a card, just about. Chen Wei knocks this forward now for Heilongjiang, and let's see what comes of all this. So they're passing the ball around nicely, which you would expect for a team in 5th place. And Mario Sergio's shot is deflected, it looks like, by Yanquin is what I'm guessing that was, out for a corner, which is better than just standing there and looking at him, which is what Paulson did. Tellez here with the corner. And Yanquin runs over to try to get back onto it, finds his opposite number, and then nothing happens except Zhong Sanbing getting injured. And so we're going to have to take him off. This was a much, much better defensive job, though, by us. Make sure you run back and try to get in the way of that shot, and Yanbian did it and gave him enough pressure to prevent something bad from happening. But it looks like we're probably going to have to take, we're going to have to take Jongsan being off, I think. Let's take a quick look here and see. Yeah, he's injured. Potential foot injury, which is a problem for a guy we're paying all that money to. We're going to put Sandberg on instead of Rovaglia. Normally you put on Rovaglia, but let's put Sandberg back on, who's played well recently, and see what he can do. It's Tellez with another corner, and we have the ball here on the wrong end of the field. And Shu is able to get a head onto it, but it stays with them, and Fu Huan has scored, and he's been looking like scoring the whole game. And that's been really, really frustrating, very, very disappointing. It's a poor, poor job from our defense. And, I mean, when we look into this, we're able, just barely not able to clear that, and nobody marks him, nobody does anything. Instead, we're kind of running around and looking at our feet. And, I mean, that's kind of a ridiculous goal to give up. And, yeah, we have some problems. I'm just looking here quickly and thinking who I want to take off. I'm thinking that it's probably time to get rid of Chendren, who's not really having much of a game, and we'll have to put Lotso on, and I don't want to put him on. I haven't been impressed with him at all. I think Yen Dawei is the other one who's going to come off, and we'll put a Brefa on for him and see if we can just see the rest of this one out without giving up an equalizer, because I don't want to have any matches that end in a draw. And we've got a couple of minutes left in this one. And let's see what happens. Let's see if we can hold out. It looks like we do have them to a stalemate. There are 6 minutes, though, of added time. And we're just creating nothing on offense here in the second half. Abrefa with the throw over to Sandberg, back to Abrefa. Abrefa plays with a little bit over to Shu now, and he finds Dicko Eng, just doesn't find him, that is. And Sandberg not quite able to get a foot onto it and is back with them. But this is going to be the end of the match here. Yanbian's able to disrupt that over to Gustafsson, who looks forward for Sandberg. He was offside anyway, doesn't really matter. That's knocked out for a corner, which is kind of a strange decision there by their defender. And that is the final whistle. And so we are able to win this match. Jongsan being with 2 goals and gets injured. We'll take a look at his injury later, see what happens. And I hope you enjoyed that, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.